to another episode of Ball Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host, Cam Connolly. And we're fresh off of Seahawks Super Bowl win on Sunday yesterday. You obviously came to my house and put a little bit of a rain on the parade the entire game, but Seahawks came out on top.
Yeah, it was a good, I'm not gonna lie and say it was a good game. It was a good time. I used to be a big Seahawks fan, but I kind of fallen out of love with the team. I can't say there's a whole lot of guys that I'm huge fans of on the Seahawks, but I did enjoy playing devil's advocate. Yes, I was that guy, but it was fun. I was just trying to have fun. I think we had fun.
Yeah, it was a good time for sure. Definitely didn't watch as much of the game as I thought I would, but
No, well, the game was so
um,
boring, man. It was
yeah,
it was just Seahawks domination. It was like a higher scoring version of the 13-3 Rams Patriots game, I think.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. We did our trade deadline reaction episode on Thursday last week, and so we're not going to do our weekly updates or anything like that because the trade deadline was kind of the weekly updates for this past week. But we'll just get into our weekly MVP and LVP and Canadian Hooper highlight segments, and then we've got little bit of a game to finish things off with a little bit of a Super Bowl theme to it, fumble or touchdown. But we'll get into that shortly. We'll just kick things off here. I'll start off with my MVP of the week. I've got Cooper Flag, 27.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 4.7 assists on 50% shooting from three. He's he's been having a great week since we last recorded on February 1st, and I mean the Mavs, they went 0-3 in that time, but I feel like Cooper Flag is really coming into his own as a legit go-to guy for an NBA team.
Yeah, they definitely gave him the vote of confidence with the trade deadline moves that they made. Like they clearly believe in him, and him and Kyrie. I guess maybe though we could see something there. I know Kyrie's going to be back. I think after the All Star break or sometime around then. Like hopefully, I think that's the plan. But I mean, I can't wait to see that duo. It would be very interesting. Would have loved to see that the three of them, Kyrie, AD, and Cooper Flag together. But obviously, we will not be seeing that. But yeah, I mean, he's just been unbelievable, and every week he gets way better. I remember at the beginning of the year, he was not even in the top three of the rookie of the year voting or whatever, and we were doing like our early season predictions. And I said, everyone stay the course. Cooper Flag is going to be MVP or not MVP. Cooper Flag is going to be rookie of the year, and I think I'm right. I don't think there's any rookie. I mean, Colin Kneppel's giving him a good run for his money, but I still think Cooper Flag's the clear guy.
Yeah, I would think that Cooper Flag's on top right now. I remember the last time we did kind of a game segment was the buy or sell, and the buy or sell was VJ Edgecombe to win Rookie of the Year because he obviously had that unbelievable tear to start the year. But yeah, I remember you saying, no, I think it's still going to be Cooper Flag. I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but I
Yeah,
think it will be.
like
And yeah, I think you're right about that.
I mean, when you watch him play, like some people say he's like white LeBron. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I, uh, I don't really buy that, but I think that he's gonna be like a top. He's gonna peak top five guy in the league. I think that's not even crazy to say.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that's crazy.
Yeah, but I'll
I
move
guess we'll
into.
see. Well, I'll just I was just gonna say I guess we'll see with the incoming rookies as well because there are some legit potential superstars in that group as well, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if Cooper Flag goes one. Well, he probably doesn't go one if he doesn't reclass. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, just with the Darren Peterson injuries, maybe he does with the health concerns there, but probably you
Because
still go Darren Peterson.
before he reclassed, was AJ Debinsta ahead of him?
They were always. I think I remember they were kind of flip flopping a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar. I think they play very similar.
Yeah,
I'd say Cooper Flag's a little more polished, but AJ's a little bit more athletic. I don't think that's
yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah, but I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see next year. But yeah, I'll move into my MVP of the week, and we highlighted this guy like 2 weeks ago, and he's just been on an absolute tear. And it's not like sometimes when like teams get bad, guys take a lot of shots and they put up like insane numbers, but they just have terrible splits. But Trey Murphy, the third, is still putting up crazy numbers on great splits. 32.3 points per game, 54% from the field, and 56.8% from three, with 4.3 rebounds and 5 assists. Like, the Pelicans didn't necessarily win a whole lot of games during that stretch, but like, where did this come from?
I know. I have no idea. It's
Like,
crazy to see. Like I like Trey Murphy a lot, and I have liked him for a couple years now. But I always thought of him as maybe a third or fourth option kind of guy.
yeah, like a 12
Never
to
something
15
like
point per
this.
game guy, not a
Yeah,
32 point per game guy. I'm actually curious what his season average is right now because every time I check like the weekly, because I always sort by weekly and I'll sort by minutes, sort by points, sort
hmm
by assists, all that. And like I'm starting to see his name at the like top every single week, like top three,
yeah, it
top
is.
five, and it's kind of insane. He's averaging 22.2 points per game right now, 5.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists. He's only 25. Like he's starting to come to his own, but it's almost shocking to see Trey Murphy on 22.2 points per game. He was a 17th pick. It's not like he had like these super high expectations.
No, I mean he did average 21, which that surprises me. He averaged 21 last year. But before that it was 14, 14, and then 5 in his rookie year. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think that 14, I was like, maybe he can get to like a 17 or 18 point per game range in his peak.
yeah, like well, last year he had the 21, but he only played 53 games. He's played 50 games this year already, so he's
hmm
already crushing those numbers from last year, almost averaging a whole. Well, he is averaging exactly one more point per game, which I mean doesn't feel like a whole lot, but that's a lot of points in a long stretch of games.
Yeah.
But I'll move into my LVP this week, and the Nuggets are struggling randomly when Jokic came back, and I can't say I expected that at all. But Christian Brown is just out there like Bobby Portis, man. He's playing 33.6 minutes per game, and he's only averaging 7 points per game and 44% from the field, which isn't the worst, I would say, for a Christian Brown. But on 33.6 minutes per game, I feel like you have to be doing a little more.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. He's another guy like he's a good role player. I don't think I had a ton of expectations for him coming into the league. He was I want to say he was a Kansas guy. Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
Kansas guy, and I watched a lot of Kansas games that year. I wasn't the biggest fan of Christian Brown, but last year I think he really came into his own and started to be a very solid role player. Like I'm looking, he played almost 34 minutes a night last year, averaging 15 points per game. But yeah, this year he's just taken another step back. And I don't really know what it is because it's not like the Nuggets added a ton going into this season. It just seems like a bit of a setback for Christian Brown this season.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that Jokic played every one of those games too. So I have no idea why his numbers would have regressed so much, especially in the last week. Like
hmm
it doesn't really add up to me how he's just running around out there. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he has potential to play a way bigger of a role.
Well, yeah, like I said, like you saw that last year. He played a
Yeah.
much bigger role, right? And
Yeah. I'm just checking. Jokic did play every game, but still, like Jokic wasn't
mm-hmm.
putting up his craziest numbers. He only played 33 minutes and 29 minutes, 33 minutes, 45 minutes, and 33 minutes. So it's not like he was barely out there for over half a game.
Yeah.
So it's, I'd be concerned a little bit if I was a Nuggets fan based upon Christian Brown's season.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll get into my LVP this week. I've got Herbert Jones. I love Herbert Jones, but this week just wasn't it from him. 31.6 minutes a game on average, and he only put up 7 points, shooting 36% from the field and 35% from three. The 35% from three isn't bad, but Herb's kind of seen as that 3 and D guy, so I just I don't expect him to shoot a ton outside of the three, so it makes sense why he's only shooting 36% from the field when his 3 point percentage is that low as well. But yeah, he's just a guy that I expect a little bit more out of. I think last year he was always my go to guy. Like, you take him 10 points, and he's usually putting up around that 10-point mark in the betting markets, and it was always good odds. I won a lot of money off of Herbert Jones this last year, so I just a little bit disappointed in his week this past week.
Yeah, and this is a funny contrast to Trey Murphy too. They're still on the same team, right? Because now I'm starting to second guess everything with this trade deadline stuff. But
Yeah, Herb's on the Pels.
yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't going crazy. But like, I mean, it kind of goes to show how the Pelicans just can't win games. I mean, Trey Murphy's playing the best basketball of his entire life, and you got Herbert Jones out there playing like Christian Brown, who's playing like Bobby Portis, prime Bobby Portis, that is. But no, it's disappointing. I mean, as a guy who, I mean, I've said this every freaking episode now, but I like to cheer for the Pelicans. I love Jordan Poole, and it's just disappointing to see the season that the Pelicans are having, and especially with Trey Murphy playing so good. Someone help him, please.
Yeah, like where's Zion?
Oh, dude, Zion's actually not having the worst year. He's just like the media has just
Well,
completely forgotten him.
I saw a video the other day. It was like I can't remember who posted it, or I'm not gonna quote it because I can't remember exactly what it was talking about, but it was saying something about how Zion, like if you watch a Pelicans game now, which I haven't, I'll be fully transparent, I haven't watched a ton of Pelicans games this season, but he said Zion's just like kind of a non-factor in their offense. Like they play around Zion almost, which is
Yeah,
really interesting.
well, to make an excuse for us, it's not like we get a whole lot of Pelicans games out where we
Yeah.
live. Like I think that they only have like 3 or 4 nationally televised games, so one of the only ways that we can watch them is in the highlights or illegal streams. But I don't do that stuff. I don't break laws.
No.
But it's I mean, like when you watch them play, they just I don't know. Like Zion is just he's always Zion. Like for me, people say that they don't play around him, but my eyes are always going to be on Zion Williamson. Like he's still that same to me at least, he's still that same guy who is going up against the Triple B AAU team, LaMelo versus Zion, most hyped AAU game ever. The guy who exploded his shoe. Like he'll always be that to me. I don't know if maybe he's moved on in other people's heads, but like you look at his numbers, he's always scoring around 20. He's
Yeah.
go on the north side 20, a little bit underneath 20, but he's always around that number. He seems to be impacting the game. So it's just I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't know when the last time they had a coaching change was, but maybe they're due for one.
Yeah, yeah, that could be the answer there. Let's get into our Canadian Hooper highlight. Someone a little bit different here. Obviously, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander goes down with that long-term injury. So let's give a shout to Will Riley here. 18.2 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.4 steals, shooting 46% from three on 5.5 attempts. Just an unbelievable week from really solid rookie.
Yeah, no, it's always exciting. I mean, I'll be fully honest. I'm not a huge Will Riley ball knower. I I can't say I'm that niche with it, but I do know who he is, and it's. I always thought he would just kind of be an irrelevant guy, if I'm being completely honest. But it's nice to see him kind of take a step and potentially be someone who can play a role in the NBA. Like it's exciting, and I mean, the more the merrier, man. As many Canadians as we can get in the NBA, the more exciting it is. I'm hearing rumors of expansion, and I hear that today there's going to be a vote in. There's going to be a vote after the season in Florida, whatever, with Vegas and Seattle will be the front runners. Let me just say, I think that Vancouver would probably support a team better than Las Vegas would, and Las Vegas is a dying city according to everyone. And if you put a team in Seattle and Vancouver, there's another natural rivalry that you created out of thin air.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver all having teams.
Yeah, the north it would be the absolute Northwest battle. Like I don't know what you
Yeah.
would want to call it, but it would be so fun. And I don't want to drive to Portland. I really don't want to drive to Seattle to watch an NBA game. I mean, I will, but I would like to maybe have a team back in Vancouver, considering we did nothing wrong and they just took our team from us for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, very unfortunate. I think out of anywhere, Seattle would be my number one pick. But then, yeah, just like obviously biased, but Vancouver would easily be my ideal place to add another NBA team.
Yeah, they never
to
gave us a chance, man. Like, I mean, I
yeah,
wasn't even born yet, but like when the Grizzlies were here, they gave us the worst teams in the league. The fans still showed up to support, and then we got a new owner. He's like, I'm not moving them, and then instantly moved them. Like,
yeah.
give us another chance, man. This is ridiculous. It's not
Well,
fair.
and I think it's time to bring another team to Canada as well, right? Like, obviously, Toronto has the support of pretty much the entire country, but that would be another good rivalry. Like you see it in hockey, the Canucks and the Maple Leafs have this rivalry, even though they're a 6 hour, 5 hour flight away. There's still that rivalry there, and so I feel like adding that to the NBA would be huge for Canada basketball and for the NBA.
Yeah, and I just want to go to NBA games, to be honest, too. Like, I've been to
Yeah.
one NBA game my entire life, and it was in, I don't know if I've told this story on here, have I?
I think you might have, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, I went down to Oakland back when it was at the Oracle Center and watched the Steph Curry list, Kevin Durant list, Draymond Green list, Klay Thompson list Warriors take on the Utah Jazz. So it wasn't the most memorable game of my life. I would like to see a new one maybe with some better people in it. But at that same time, I'm not trying to drive all the way to Portland. It's like 8 hour drive just to watch an NBA game. Like I would do it, but it's just not the most appetizing, especially
It's
like
only
with.
five.
Is it only five? I thought it was eight.
It's four if you drive like I do, but it's usually like five, five and a half.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I want to go to an NBA game, man, with like an actual team. If it's in Seattle, it's not the worst, but man, put a
Yeah.
team in Vancouver, bro. Please, Adam Silver. Adam Silver, I'm begging you, put a team back in Vancouver. We'll watch, we'll go to all the games, I'll buy season tickets.
Yeah, I used to make a annual trip down to Portland to watch them take on the Raptors, and the last one that I went to, Precious Achua put up his career high against the Portland Trailblazers.
What year was
He's
that?
unreal that game. I think that was 2 years ago.
Hmm. Yeah, that Portland team was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Was that the year
Oh yeah.
DeAndre Ayton couldn't leave his house because his driveway was too icy?
It might have been. He was definitely on the team. He missed a layup to win the game at the buzzer. Went to
Classic.
OT.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, speaking of the Washington Wizards and Will Riley, let's get into our fumble or touchdown. So I'm gonna just basically give you a little bit of a prompt, and you're gonna say whether this move or this decision, whatever it may be, is a fumble or a touchdown. So I'll kick things off with Washington here because we were just talking about Will Riley, who could be a big part of that team in the future, but what they're building with Trey Young and Anthony Davis, just in general, like, do you see this as something they can build on or not? Is it a fumble or a touchdown bringing in AD and Trey Young?
I think this is a fumble, to be honest. It's I don't I just on paper, I think I said this last episode. On paper, this is like an interesting fit. I think it could work as a fit, but the problem is Trey Young. I still think Trey Young has so much more to give than what he's given to Atlanta the last few years. Like he just seems like he's not comfortable. Like he wasn't comfortable in Atlanta. And then AD, obviously he's nasty, but when he's healthy, and the question is not if he's healthy, it's when he's healthy, and when he's healthy is not very often. So I think it's a fumble because you're going to be paying two guys a lot of money in the second apron era to not play a whole lot of games, and for that reason, fumble, change of possession.
All right. I want to get into now the Zubac to the Pacers move, the return that the Pacers sent the Clippers for Zubac. I'll remind you, part of that return is if the Pacers finish outside of the top four, but inside the top 10, that 2026 pick becomes the LA Clippers pick, along with Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and then a second round pick and another first round pick in 2029 that is also unprotected.
Yeah, I'm going to go with fumble, but it's a booth review to see who has possession. because I think that it's too hard to judge the true like ramifications of this trade until next year when we know what that pick is, until we see Halliburton with Zubac. It's definitely like a scary situation. Like it's late game and they just fumbled and we don't know who has the ball. But we're gonna find out who has the ball when the booth gets back to us. But it's a long review and then we'll find out. I'm gonna if I had to guess, I think it'll all work out for both sides. I hope it does. But it was definitely a ballsy trade.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do Daryl Morey saying they sold high on Jared McCann.
Absolute fumble, dude. This is actually brutal. I can't believe he said that, by the way. Like, way to kick a guy when he's down, man. This guy absolutely gave you everything you had. He was like, what was he? He was the 16th pick, 17th pick, one of the two. And
Mm-hmm.
he was the first in Rookie of the Year. He was absolutely dominating the Rookie of the Year race until he got that injury last year. And then he just another stroke of bad luck with the thumb injury, and he's trying to get it back, but Nick Nurse isn't really getting him in. Send him to the G League, call him up, send him back to the G League, call him up. Like he just needs like a sturdy place to find his footing. Like at the end of the day, he's only played like 30-ish NBA games. Like it would be nearly impossible to find your footing in a situation like that. Like he was playing so good and the knee injury. He's finally back to thumb injury. And now he's like, I'm kind of shaky. I don't know where I'm going to be. Send him to OKC. Great trade for OKC, especially with Shea out. Like he's a guy that can run the one. I think some people say that he's more of a two guard, but I think he could run the one. I think he could set up the offense and get them into the right spots, get them going, and then we could see what could happen. I do not think they sold high. I think they sold low. I think there's a lot more there for Jared McCain.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. All right, since the All Star game's coming up, I've got a couple All Star ones here to finish it off with. Just starting off with the format in general. You've got the Rising Stars and the G League teams playing against each other. Winner of that whole tournament, if you want to call it, moves and plays against the two Team USAs and the global All Star team. Just the format in general, fumble or touchdown.
I'm gonna go touchdown. I think I don't really know. Like on one hand, it's they're trying to copy the Four Nations, and we've talked about this before. I don't think they'll necessarily be successful in like garnering the same kind of intensity that the Four Nations had. But on the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, bringing in the G League team or slash whatever whoever wins the Rising Stars, whoever wins the Rising Stars challenge, I think that team's really going to push whoever they play. So I think we'll at least get one good game because those guys are going to be trying because they're going to want the incentive and the money that comes with playing on that stage and winning the next round and winning the All Star weekend. But I think on the other side, the Team World versus Team USA 2 game, whatever they're going to call it, I don't think that's going to be the greatest game. I think it'll just be like an all star game because, then we don't have to play. And then you hope that whoever wins the Rising Stars team beats Team USA. So now the other Team USA slash Team World will be like, oh, well, we can't lose to these guys. And then you get a good game. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is like always, no one tries. And at least they tried.
Fair
Tried to change
enough.
it, I should say.
Yeah, yeah, I knew what you meant. And then just the last one here. He's won the contest, I think, the last 3 years, but not a part of it this year. Mac McClung not participating in the dunk contest. Fumble or touchdown for the NBA.
I mean, it's a fumble when you look at the dunk contest lineup. It could have been a touchdown if you actually got the Stars to come back and participate in the dunk contest, but I mean, an absolute fumble. I don't really want to watch the dunk contest this year. They got no literally negative star power. What, Jackson Hayes, Carter Bryant? What's Jackson Hayes going to do, man? Break a law? Like, I don't know. Why are we putting that guy on a pedestal and letting him to participate in the NBA dunk contest? Like, he's literally a felon. He's a domestic abuser, and he's allowed to get all this fame and popularity on I wouldn't call it a big stage anymore, but one of the biggest stages of the NBA season in the dunk contest. I personally, I would like your take on it, and I know this is a big hypothetical, and it probably will never happen. Why don't we cut the dunk contest and just go to a 1v1 contest? Get the biggest stars, get them to play in a 1v1 contest, put $1 million on the line. I would sign up to watch that over the dunk contest every single day.
I still like to watch the dunk contest, like regardless of who's in it. I mean, I won't. I typically don't watch like All Star Weekend, and the dunk contest, 3 point contest, skills competition, all of that. I don't sit and watch the whole live broadcast. I'll watch the replays like when the NBA posts them on YouTube the next day or whatever. That way I can just fast forward. I don't have to deal with all the commercials and stuff like that. But I think if you're gonna put a 1v1 tournament in, which I really like that idea, we've talked about it before. I think you replace it with the skills competition because I don't need to see like. Do you remember? Was it last year or 2 years ago when Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul, the 3 point shot part of the skills competition, when they're just chucking the balls
Oh
on
yeah.
purpose and then they ended up getting disqualified? But like it's funny. It's funny and it's funny to watch, but it's also like we're not showing who's the most skilled player in the league here. I feel like a
No.
one v one contest could do a much better job of showing who the most skilled player in the league is.
Yeah, and it would be exciting because I want to see, dude. I would have loved to see like prime Steph Curry go up against prime Kyrie in the 1v1 contest. That
Hmm.
would have been absolutely insane, dude. Even
Or like
imagine
KD
like,
LeBron.
yeah, or like, dude, if Zion, like rookie Zion versus like LeBron James, with all the hype that Zion had. I don't know why that's in my brain. I guess based on what we're talking about today. Now, obviously, LeBron James would probably win that, but like with all the hype Zion had, dude, imagine like how much media attention that matchup could have drawn.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Even now, like I want to see Jokic. I want to see how Jokic would do in something like that.
Yeah, or like even Wemby, bro. Like, could anyone stop Wemby? Like, could it be
Yeah.
a surprising guy that could stop Wemby? Like, dude, imagine Wemby versus Jokic, bro. Like, that could
Imagine
be
Wemby
crazy.
versus Chet.
Oh, sign me up. Exactly. Like, why isn't this in there, man? Like, whoa, they're scared of injury. Dude, guys play 1v1 at practice every day and no one's scared of injury. Like, let them play 1v1 for $1 million. What's the harm?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But maybe the NBA happens to come across this show and decides to implement that change next year.
Yeah, you can give us like a small, like 2% of the $1 million for suggesting it. I'll take it.
But is there anything else you wanted to get to before we wrap up?
Just quickly, Damian Lillard participating in the 3 point
Hmm.
contest. Like, what? That's
Who else
random.
is in that? I didn't look who's participating. I'll
Uh,
look that up right now.
Honestly, I saw Damian Lillard in it, and I was just like, what the hell?
Okay, so it is Devin Booker, Con Knuppel, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby Portis, and Norman Powell.
Bobby Portis, bro. Wow, what? Is, what is his percentage this year?
He's not a bad shooter, and like they kind of always have to have at least one big, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure Bobby Portis would be my pick.
dude, he's only
He's
taken
shooting
96 threes this year.
he's shooting 45% from 3 on 4.3 attempts per game.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean
It's not
that's
terrible.
actually good,
Yeah.
but I still I don't know. It doesn't. I don't. Bobby Portis, man, like his career, he's shooting 1.2 for three, which is basically 30%, 33%.
Okay, before we wrap up, because we won't record until after the All Star game, I want you to pick a winner. I'll do the same. Pick a winner for the 3 point contest and the dunk contest.
Uh, hmm. All right, hold on. You can go
I'm gonna
first.
I'll give Jace Richardson. I feel like just for some reason, I think he's gonna win the dunk contest. And then my 3 point contest winner, I feel like Con Knipple might take some pride in that and go for the W.
Yeah. Hmm. I want to say I want to take Devin Booker to be honest in the 3 point contest. I think that just the way that he is. I mean, he had the whole thing about I'll stand in the corner and shoot threes. and he seems like he's a competitive guy. I think that he doesn't want to lose to anyone that's in this field. I mean,
Mhm.
Donovan Mitchell also I could see getting like scorching hot and then doing something with it. But hold on, I just got distracted by this. Scotty Barnes and Chet Holmgren on the same team, bro. In the Kia Shooting Stars thing. The heck is that about? Anyway, that's such a random team. That pisses me off. Anyway, and then the dunk contest, I'm gonna go with Carter Bryant. He's a freak athlete. I think that he'll be able to do something crazy. I mean, that whole reason he got drafted so high was based off his athletic potential. So I think maybe he can dial something in there and get it going. Maybe he can do something new for the first time in 5 years.
Let's pick a winner for the shooting stars as well.
Okay.
Who do you have for that?
Uh, I'll go with Team Harper.
Okay, I was gonna go Team Harper as well, so I'll just go Team All Star. Scotty, Chet. Um,
Richard Hamilton.
yeah.
No, I'll
I don't
go
know why
Team
Team All Star has Richard Hamilton as the legend,
Legend.
but
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think the Harpers will probably try the hardest and they'll probably
yeah.
have the most success.
Why is uh why is Corey Maggette a legend?
Why are they called Team Cameron? That's the better question. Well, actually, they're both
Concanipal,
good
Jalen
questions.
Johnson, and Corey Maggette. Team Cameron.
Like, am I missing something?
I don't know.
What? Why are they called Team Cameron, bro? Uh,
Oh, okay. It's because they all played at Duke, Cameron
oh.
Indoor Stadium.
Okay, well, now that we're on just random stuff, I mean, this is 1 hour ago. Jason Tatum just practiced with the Celtics. Got an opinion on that?
Oh wow. I mean, I assume he's still a bit from returning. Like he's got a bit of time from returning, but that could turn the Celtics into a favorite in the East right now. Like they're only games back of the Detroit Pistons. I don't know if the Detroit Pistons. We've talked about it. I don't know if the Detroit Pistons have enough experience to get to the NBA Finals this year, and so I kind of just looked at the Knicks as their only real competition. But um, maybe the Celtics are a legit contender now if they can
Yeah, I
get
mean,
Tatum back.
we'll see when he actually comes back. There
Yeah,
doesn't. Oh, sorry, he's practicing with the main Celtics, but he's still practicing, which is
yeah.
good news for Celtics fan. It says he'll be immediately recalled to Boston after the practice. So I guess they just paper transaction.
Hmm.
But it is he's progressed to 5-on-5 workouts, so he's still got a ways to go according to Brad Stevens. But I mean, I can't imagine a ways to go if you're doing live 5-on-5 stuff is more than a month. Maybe he'll be
Yeah, no,
back
I
before
wouldn't think
March.
so. Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we can end it there. We'll be back next week, probably following the All Star game. We'll be able to break down All Star Weekend and give more opinions on how it all went. But thank you for listening to this episode of Ball Don't Lie. Be sure to check out us on our social channels that are linked down below. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. And yeah, thank you for listening.